So, how do I embody the version of me who is in a relationship? You have been trying to manifest love into your life, the dream relationship, the dream partner, but you still feel so far away and so disconnected and unfamiliar from what it will actually feel like if you have manifested that dream relationship in your life. You simply can't imagine what it will be like, what it would feel like, and how would you even show up if a relationship like that got manifested into your reality. You want to manifest that dream relationship, so you're trying everything that you thought and you heard that you have to do in order to manifest love. You try the vision boards, you try the visualizations, you try the affirmations, you try meditations, you try everything that you thought that is the right thing to do in order to manifest correctly. But you're forgetting the most key ingredient that is required for you to manifest successfully. The ingredient that if it's missing, it makes all of your efforts, your visualizations, your meditations, your vision boards, it makes them all useless without it. So you have been in a state of doing, of trying, of putting effort in order to manifest your dream relationship. Thinking that, okay, surely this is what I need to do in order to create a result. I need to go out and try, I need to go out and put effort, I need to go out and take action. But action on itself, it's useless in manifestation. And that's because action is a result. And you can't change a result with a result. In order to change a result, you need to change the cause. So the cause is what is going to create a different result, is going to create a different outcome. And the cause that creates that desired effect. The missing ingredient here is not doing, but is being, is embodying your desired outcome, is knowing and having the knowing and conviction that this is who you are now. So in order for you to be in a healthy relationship, you have to be in a healthy relationship. You need to embody and you need to already become the version of you that is in a healthy relationship. This is the missing ingredient, and without it, all of your efforts and all of your attempts, all of your actions are rendered useless and are a wasted energy. So if you don't actually feel like the version of you who is and has the dream healthy relationship, then how could you ever attract that? I used to look at people who got so easily and effortlessly in relationships, and I wondered, what was I doing differently? What are they doing that I don't? But I didn't understand that it wasn't a question of what they do, but a question of who they are and what they embody. And once I finally realized that and I understood that and I started being that version of me who was in a healthy relationship, that's when everything changed for me. That's when I was able to change the cause, therefore to change my effect. Hi guys, I'm Adriana and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to embody and become the version of you who already holds the energy of healthy love, who already knows and already feels like how it is to be in a healthy relationship. I'm going to tell you exactly the shifts that I made that helped me to become her and to embody her and not to sit around anymore and wait for a change. So if you want to see change, you need to become change. And if you're tired of still trying to manifest love while you are still wired for rejection, my journal was made for you. It is a healing roadmap back to your real self, the self that doesn't chases and doesn't need to chase love because she is love, because she radiates love, and so she simply and effortlessly attracts it. So if you're tired of waiting around and you want to start doing the inner work that is going to heal your journey to love, then you can find the link of my journal in the description. So now let's get into the video. You can't embody the version of you who is in a healthy relationship if you're still identifying as the one that love never chose. You say that you want a healthy relationship. You want to become the version of you who is in a healthy relationship. But unconsciously, you are still living in the narrative of the girl who's overlooked, who's left behind, who is betrayed or never enough. And as long as you keep wearing your pain as your personality, you will unconsciously block everything that contradicts that identity. That means that you will block everything, you will block any chance of a healthy relationship because you identify as the girl who's always overlooked, who's always abandoned, who's betrayed, never enough, and therefore how could she that has this identity ever attract a person that loves her? The version of you who is in a healthy relationship, she doesn't carry the story and the belief that, oh, I'm always the exception to love, oh, love never finds me, love never truly stays with me, and love is just not for me. She actually feels like someone that has always felt safe to love, that has always received love, that is so unconditionally lovable, and she truly believes that. You might be thinking, oh my god, this is so delusional for me to go and think that. How can I go from being the girl that always thought that she's not loved to having the identity of someone that she is like so lovable? Well, that is the change that you need to make in order to become the version of you that is in a healthy relationship. You might be thinking this is the Lulu, but this is how people that get into healthy relationships actually feel. And the way to do that is to find examples of where people showed you how much they love you, how much lovable and how much appreciated you are. And I'm sure it's not impossible. Just because you have the identity of someone that isn't lovable, you are filtering your experiences through that identity. And therefore, even if you had experiences where objectively showed that you are lovable, you have watered them down or you have filtered them in a way so that it can actually match your identity and match your beliefs. Because if that situation doesn't match your identity, it doesn't match your belief, then it doesn't make sense. It's contradicting it. I had to reparent the part of me that had confused love with survival. I realized that I can't embody a securely attached woman if my inner child is still screaming inside of me, oh, if I lose them, I will lose everything. If my inner child still feels so unsafe around love, if my inner child is so insecurely attached, unable to trust love, to stay. You have to understand that for your inner child, love didn't mean joy. Love meant safety. Love meant control. Love meant not being abandoned. So I realized that in order to become a woman who receives healthy love, I needed to firstly meet the inner child that was inside of me, who only received love with conditions. And I tried to meet that inner child and try to make it feel safe with me, because I couldn't guarantee it that, like this person is going to make you feel safe, is not going to abandon you. But I gave my inner child the safety by making her feel safe that she had me, and that me was going to be the person that is going to protect her, that is going to look after her, that is never going to abandon her, that is going to make her feel seen, make her feel safe and secure. So immediately I've created this bond with my inner child that transformed everything. I didn't need to go and try to change my standards and make them higher. All that I needed to do was simply go and create this home inside of me, this feeling of safety inside of me that made my body and made my inner child to feel safe with myself, to feel safe in my body, to not feel constantly anxious, to not feel like she needs somebody else to feel reassured. I reassured her and I made her feel calm with her own self. I now became her protector and I made her feel like now she's safe enough and she doesn't need to chase, she doesn't need anyone externally to make her feel safe and therefore loved, because she already has the love from me and she's already safe and protected and not abandoned from me. And that literally changed everything because I became my own ecosystem. Love didn't need to come from the outside because it already existed from the inside. I was able like that to become love and not to need it in order to feel it. I learned that the version of me who was in a healthy relationship and that was in love, that version of me wasn't a performance, wasn't something that I acted as, wasn't something that I tried to make myself like in order to be likable. I didn't try to shapeshift anymore in order to be likable, in order to be lovable, because I understood that the version of me that is in a healthy relationship is already lovable the way that she is without needing to put any performance, just showing up as her authentic raw self. If you still feel like you need to shapeshift in order to be likable, if you see every date like a job interview, if you still think that love is something that you win by becoming better, then you can't embody and become the version of you who is in a healthy relationship, because you are still the version of you that acts and performs. Still see love and being in a relationship as a performance and not something that you naturally are as yourself. You think that you need to act like that person, you need to become better, you need to seem likable and seem in a certain way in order to be in a relationship. And that is such an illusion. And just that mentality alone blocks you from ever attracting healthy love into your life. You're simply attracting people that are going to crave only the parts of you that you want to show and not the parts of you that you completely and wholly are. The right person for you, your soulmate, if you want to use the word, is going to want to see all of you, all of your true, authentic and whole self. So if you're trying to hide that self and just show the parts that you think they're gonna like, then you're only going to attract people that are going to need and demand to see only those parts of you. The version of you that got into a true healthy relationship didn't get there by being perfect. She got there by being true. You can't ask for true love if you yourself are not willing to show up as your true self. So the transformation for me came when I realized this, and when I realized that, you know what, I'm no longer going to ask, oh my God, do they like me? But when I instead started asking myself, do I feel free being myself with them? If I feel like I need to hide parts of me in order to be more digestible and more likable for them, that was immediately a red flag for me. And I feel like with my boyfriend, like there was instantly this feeling and this thing where I could not hold anything back. I couldn't lie. Maybe it was my own urge to be just completely truthful, and if you can take it, you can take it. But I just felt so completely seen and transparent, and at the same time accepted for being that it just felt so good and so freeing to just be completely myself and not hold any thoughts back. And it's something that completely caught me off guard, because like, why am I sharing so much with a person that I don't even know that much yet? And for me, it was one of the biggest indicators, because my inner child and my nervous system felt safe to do that with him. And I felt so accepted when I did that, went so seen, so comforted, that it allowed me reveal even more and to just be completely true and myself with him. I had to release the addiction to intensity, inconsistency, and to almost love. You can't embody the version of you who is in a healthy relationship while you're still craving the emotional highs of the people that don't stay, that they could come and go. Because I realized that healthy love doesn't come with those fireworks, with those butterflies. Those fireworks and butterflies are just signals that you're just feeling uneasy, you're just feeling anxious, and you don't know, like, you don't feel this safety and consistency for your system to relax. I realized that love came with peace, it came with clarity, and it came with safety. So when I was able to feel that with my partner, when my nervous system was able to relax and feel so at home, so much at peace and ease, so much secure, and if your body doesn't recognize peace, clarity, and safety as love, then is going to reject them. And that is the version of you that you currently are, that is not allowing you to become the version of you who is in a healthy relationship. Because the version of you who is in a healthy relationship is not only accepting those, but expecting those. She's expecting peace, she's expecting stability, she's expecting safety, and therefore that's why she's able to be in a healthy relationship, because this is the normal. So in order for you to do that, you need to break the trauma bonded belief that passion means chaos, that passion means fireworks and means butterflies and means uncertainty. And in order to embody the version of you who is in a healthy relationship, you need to become the version of you. You need to become someone who sees consistency as love, who sees consistency as romantic, that you see kindness as sexy, that you see stability as something sacred. Only when you're able to see that and understand that and see that as your normal is when you're going to be able to embody and part of you and part of the version of you that is in a healthy relationship. I healed my nervous system before I could hold the love that I wanted. A key thing that you need to understand here is that you don't become her just by thinking differently. You become her when your body no longer panics in the presence of intimacy. You become her when love and peace are something that no longer trigger your nervous system. Because as long as your nervous system is wounded and is unfamiliar with intimacy, with vulnerability, you will never be able to attract healthy love. The old version of you, she will flinch when things got real. She will shut down, she will overthink, she will self-sabotage. And why is that? Well, it's because your nervous system was still wired for survival and not for connection. The version of you, the woman that is in a healthy relationship, she doesn't feel anxious when she's chosen. She doesn't feel like this is weird. She doesn't question it. She doesn't think like, oh, is this like something that this person is acting like he's choosing me? Is he trying to get something from me? Like, why is he acting this way? You find this unfamiliar and you find this weird. So your body doesn't feel safe. The version of you who is in a healthy relationship feels safe. She feels like this is normal. She feels secure in being chosen. And you become that woman by going and firstly teaching your body how to feel safe with love, how to feel safe being loved, how to feel safe and protected around love. And I did that with myself. I taught myself that intimacy and vulnerability is okay because I trust myself to be okay around love, because I no longer saw myself as vulnerable, the mercy of people that could choose to have me or to reject me. I realized that as long as I loved me, nobody's rejection could sink me, could influence me to a level that I will internalize that belief as being a person worthy of rejection. I flipped my mindset to expect love, and then love is all that I got. Love became my normal and my standard. Anything below that, anything less than that, it's something that my mind no longer expected. I stopped chasing and I started receiving. You don't embody the version of you that is in a healthy relationship while you are in pursuit. Healthy love isn't a game of proving or fixing or convincing. So in order to get that, I needed to learn the art of receiving. And this is not just with gifts, but it's also receiving safety, receiving compliments, receiving devotion, receiving consistency. But in order to receive those, you need to allow yourself and put yourself in a state of receiving, allowing and opening yourself up to these things being received by you. Because if you are closed off to them and you are used to only be giving them to other people, then you don't put yourself in a state of also receiving them. You don't find yourself deserving and worthy of receiving them. And that's why you have yourself closed to them. And when you're able to learn that, the art of receiving, it means that you're able to finally stop rejecting the love that you say that you want. And the way that I embodied this is by understanding that I don't need to perform and show my worthiness. I don't need to go and prove how worthy of receiving love I am. I shifted into allowing love to come to me because my energy now was saying that of course it does. My energy was so convinced that I deserve to receive love so effortlessly. It was this mindset that of course I do. Of course I deserve it. Of course I receive love. This is my normal. This is not something that is weird, that is rare, that is like, wow. I took that love out of the pedestal and I brought it to the same level with me. I saw that this is not rare. This is not an exception. That love was the normal for me. I forgave myself for all of the years that I have accepted less. You're not able to become fully the version of you that is able to be in a healthy relationship if you're still shaming yourself for who you used to be. Because if you do not accept and forgive that old version of you, that means that you're so ashamed of her, that you're pushing her so much away, you are rejecting her, that you don't accept her as part of you. And that means that you're still rejecting a part of you. That means you're not able to wholly accept your complete and whole self. So even if you think that this is in the past, this is not who I am anymore, I reject her, I don't accept her, like she was so cringe, you are still judging and pushing away a version of you that is still in you, that is still you. So the moment you accept her and you forgive her and you understand where she's coming from, you are able to integrate her into yourself, and you're able to even accept your current self, because as long as you're hating and rejecting your old self, you will still be hating and rejecting your current self. So you can move on into the future if in your past you are still hating and rejecting that version. You understand now that a woman that is in a healthy relationship isn't just magically healed. She is actually whole, and that wholeness comes from looking back with love and not with regret. So when I was able to look at the old version of myself and accept her, understand her, forgive her, I was able to see her with love and to accept her as a part of me, a part of who I am. And so now I was able to not just be knowing better, but to loving better and loving myself more wholly and more completely. And I was no longer looking at her with regret. I was able to shift my mind from seeing this as, oh, this was my time wasted. I accepted so low, like accepted so much low effort. I regret this, I regret that. I was able to not see that as time wasted, but as time that allowed my becoming, because it taught me so many lessons and so many insights of what not to tolerate, of what not to accept. And I wouldn't be able to understand what I don't want if I didn't first experience it. I became love before I tried to attract it. The older version of me, the unhealed version of me, she didn't understand that I couldn't manifest a kind, present, grounded partner if I was still outsourcing my power, if I was still outsourcing that energy and I wasn't embodying that. How could I manifest someone that is kind, that is grounded, that is present, when me, myself, I wasn't that? How could I manifest someone that was a healthy partner when me, myself, I wasn't yet a healthy partner? And that's when I started to slowly realize that what you want to attract, you need to firstly become it. Because if I want to go out and attract this amazing healthy love, this healthy amazing partnership, am I a healthy partner in the first place? I realized that I needed to become the energy that I craved. And so that translated to, if I want my partner to have all of these characteristics, do I have these characteristics myself? Whatever I was looking for from another person, I tried to give it to myself. If I was looking for a partner that was kind, that was loving, that was consistent, that was present with me, that was ambitious, that was intelligent, did I have these characteristics? Did I have that energy? And if I didn't, I tried to cultivate it. A lot of the characteristics that I was looking for, I already had, but some of them that I didn't, I started working on them. So I became the energy that I wanted to attract. So I no longer needed that energy to come into my life in order to have it. I had it because I started embodying it. I started creating that energy of consistency, that energy of ambition, that energy of kindness, generosity with myself. I firstly became the dream partner. I firstly came into a relationship with myself. I built all those qualities that I was looking for, and I was giving them to myself, and I was showing that love and showering that love to myself. And this allowed me to shift from this urgency, oh my God, where are they? When are they gonna come in my life? And it just took me into a state of mind of, am I showing up for myself in the way that I want them to show up for me? If I want a partner that is loving, that is kind, am I showing up for myself in a loving and a kind way? I was able to become love and give it to myself first. And therefore, my power was no longer outsourced, was no longer externalized, and was no longer needed by anyone that was outside of me. I was already giving myself everything that I was craving. And that made me complete and whole. That made me realize that I have it. I already am in a state of love. And this shift is what truly made me realize that you don't attract what you fantasize about. You don't attract what you like thinking and like visualizing and imagining that it will happen, but you actually attract the love that you embody. And you want to know the truth that nobody actually tells you. You don't become magnetic when you find love. You become magnetic when you become love, when you're able to embody the love, when you're able to feel and be your own ecosystem of love. That's when you're able to attract it. Because nobody's attracted to somebody that is empty of love and is just a vampire that is needing to suck love, otherwise they are so empty of it, and that's why they're so thirsty for it. When you're able to be the full cup yourself, be full of love, you are radiating it, and so many people then get so magnetized and attracted to you. So if this version of you feels like someone that you're finally ready to meet, not just in your mind but in your body, in your boundaries, in your nervous system, then my journal is your next step. It's a fully guided journey back to wholeness. It walks you through healing the patterns, the beliefs, and all of the wounds that are keeping you from becoming her, from becoming the version of you who is and thrives in a healthy relationship. And that's the way I was able to become her. I didn't have all of these realizations and insights just being downloaded to me. I had to reflect on them. And I was going through so many journals based on what I was going through at the time. My journey was so not linear. It had so many ups and downs. And if I had this journal in my life, I would be able to take this journey one step at a time and in a way that will allow me for everything to make sense. So the purpose of this journal is to provide you this linear journey, to give you all of the insights that are going to work as building blocks in helping you heal and become the version of you who is in a healthy relationship. And all of these reflections and all of these insights that are going to be specific about you are not going to come from the ether. You either have to go out and have experiences with people that are going to trigger certain parts of you that will allow you to see your patterns and see your wounds, and then you get to become aware of them and get to work on them and change them, or you go and journal them. You go and you face them, you go and you acknowledge them, and you are then able to deal with your own wounds on your own. So I can't recommend journaling enough, and how much impact it was a tool that changed everything for me and that allowed me to become the version of me who is healed and who is loved by myself firstly. And so I was only able to become that version of me through journaling. And because I know how much power it has, I know and I'm certain how much it is able to change your life. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this video helped you, and I hope this served as your reminder that manifesting and attracting love into your life starts with becoming the love of your life and starts with embodying love in your life. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you for being here, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.